The first time I saw her, she was standing alone beneath the shattered hull of a refugee transport, her silver skin catching the dawn. Aria wasn't supposed to survive the crash. None of her kind were. The Tlani were a fragile species, built for twilight worlds and gentle atmospheres, not for the scorched dust storms of Hestara 9, where our outpost barely clung to life. I was part of the relief team that pulled bodies from the wreckage. I'd seen death before. I'd fought in the Orion campaigns, but nothing prepared me for the way she looked at me when I pried open the airlock door. She wasn't afraid. She wasn't begging. She was apologizing. "I am sorry," she whispered in halting English, her translucent eyelids fluttering. "My people, we failed to protect what was given." Her voice was soft, like wind through glass reeds. She was covered in ash and blood, trembling, but when I tried to lift her, she flinched away. "Don't touch me," she said. "Humans don't like to touch things that look like me." I remember staring, not understanding. "You think you look bad?" She turned her face away. "Your kind have beauty and balance. Symmetry. I am not." Even then, something in me rebelled at her words. There was a fragile grace in her, like a broken sculpture still catching light. I didn't know it yet, but that moment, that look would haunt me. Middle, the girl who hid her face. Weeks passed. Aria was the only Tlani survivor. We set her up in the medical wing, surrounded by our tech, oxygen filters, nutrient drips, translation arrays. She healed quickly, but never left her room. She always wore a veil of light, an adaptive holographic shimmer that hid her face from passing soldiers. "They stare," she told me once. "And when they stare, they pity." I would rather be unseen. I had been assigned as her liaison, part medic, part translator, part reluctant babysitter. At first, I saw it as punishment. A combat engineer stuck doing social work. But Aria made it impossible to stay detached. She was curious about everything. The way we cooked food, the way we laughed too loud, the way we painted the walls of our barracks with names of the dead. "Humans remember by writing?" she asked one day, tracing the carved names with her glowing fingers. "Yeah," I said. "It's how we promise not to forget." She tilted her head. "We dissolve the bodies of our lost into nutrient pools. Their memories flow into our kin through ingestion." "That's morbid," I said. "Efficient," she corrected with a small smile. Sometimes, when she thought no one was watching, she would deactivate her veil and stare into the mirror, and I would catch glimpses of the truth. Her skin was a shifting mosaic of opalescent plates that reflected light in strange patterns, too bright in some angles, too dim in others. Her features didn't align perfectly like human symmetry. Her eyes were set slightly wider, her mouth narrower, her cheek ridges faintly luminous. But there was something there, something delicate, something achingly real. I found myself looking forward to our conversations. And then one evening, she asked me something that stopped me cold. "What do you see when you look at me?" We were sitting by the viewport, watching Hestara's storms flash violet over the horizon. Aria broke the silence first. "When you see me, what do you see?" I frowned. "What do you mean?" "I wish to understand how humans perceive." I hesitated, searching for words. "I see someone strong. Smart. Still standing after losing everything." She tilted her head. "Not what I meant." Her eyes glowed faintly, twin rings of amber light. "I mean aesthetic value. You look at your women with warmth, with admiration. When you look at me, is it disgust?" That hit harder than I expected. "I don't know who told you that," I said quietly, "but no, not disgust." She looked down. "You don't have to lie. My species was designed for functionality, not appeal. We are bioengineered servants of the Elorians. We never had need of beauty." Maybe that's your problem, I said, smiling gently. You've been told what beauty is instead of deciding for yourself. Her brows knit in confusion. Beauty is a pattern, a biological metric for attraction. That's one kind, I said, but not the kind that matters. She studied me for a long moment. And what kind matters to you? I shrugged. The kind that makes me stop thinking for a second. The kind that makes silence feel full. She blinked slowly, uncertain. And do I make you feel this way? The question caught me off guard. My pulse jumped. Yes, I admitted before my mind could censor me. For a moment, the air between us felt heavier. Then she activated her veil again, the holographic shimmer wrapping her face. Then you are foolish, she said softly, almost sadly. The attack. 2 nights later, the outpost was attacked. A raider fleet, scavengers, neither human nor tawny, bombarded the compound. Alarms wailed. I ran for the defense grid, shouting orders, but the sky was already falling. When I reached the med bay, Arya was gone. I found her in the courtyard, standing in the open storm, her holographic veil flickering. A group of raiders had cornered her. Get down, I yelled, firing my pulse rifle. The fight was chaos, plasma bolts slicing the air, sand cutting like glass. I took a hit to the shoulder, stumbled, and saw one of the raiders raise a blade toward her. Before I could move, she did something I'd never seen. The bioluminescent plates on her skin flared blindingly bright. Energy pulsed from her body like a shockwave, hurling the attackers backward. The nearest ones dropped, convulsing. I crawled toward her as the last raider fled. Arya, are you okay? Her veil shattered completely, revealing her face in full for the first time, radiant, trembling, alien and heartbreakingly human all at once. She looked at me through tears of light. I told you, I was not beautiful. And I remember saying, half in pain, half in awe, you're wrong. You're the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. She froze. You mean that? I do. Then she touched my face, gently. Then you are blind, she whispered. But I wish I could see through your eyes. After the fire, we barely survived that night. Half the outpost was destroyed, but the raiders fled. Arya saved dozens of lives, though the energy burst nearly killed her. Her body was weak, her biolight dimming. She spent the next week recovering, barely speaking. When she finally asked to see me, I found her sitting beside the viewport again, wrapped in a thermal blanket. I've been thinking, she said softly. You risked your life for me. Yeah, that's what humans do. She smiled faintly. It is illogical. Maybe, I said, but worth it. She studied me for a long time. Then, to my surprise, she deactivated her veil completely. Her face was uncovered. No more hologram. No more hiding. I do not wish to live in shadows anymore, she said. When I thought you were dead, I felt hollow. It frightened me. I took a breath, stepping closer. You don't have to be afraid anymore. I am not afraid, she whispered. But I am uncertain. You said beauty is what makes silence full. Yeah. She looked up at me, her golden eyes shimmering. Then this silence is full enough to drown me. Before I could respond, she reached out, hesitant, trembling, and touched her forehead to mine. The tawny gesture of connection. A warmth spread between us, electric and soft. I could feel her heartbeat through the contact, fast and fragile. And I realized then that she wasn't wrong about herself. She wasn't humanly beautiful. She was something rarer. Something beyond symmetry, beyond biology. She was beautiful because she chose to be seen. Ending the light that stayed. The war ended months later. The Tlani were given asylum. Most of them left for the inner colonies, where they could rebuild. Arya stayed. She said she wanted to understand humanity, to see the world through the eyes of the species that found beauty in broken things. We rebuilt the outpost together. Some nights, we'd sit beneath the artificial sky dome, watching the flickering stars. One night, she said quietly, "When I first saw your people, I thought you were chaotic,
Loud.
unrefined. And now?"
I asked.
She smiled. "Now I think you are beautiful." I laughed. "That's a dangerous thing to tell a human." "Good," she said. "You taught me to be dangerous." She leaned closer, her golden eyes reflecting mine. "Tell me again the words you said during the storm." "You're beautiful," I said. Her smile widened. No veil. No doubt. "I believe you now." And when she kissed me, her skin glowing softly beneath the stars, I realized she had never needed to look human to be beautiful. She just needed someone to see her.